I started playing Fallout 4 relatively soon after it was released and quickly began using mods. Since then there were released vast amounts of different mods that improve the game and add new content. Many of these are so beneficial and game-changing that I never want to remove them from my mod list again. This video will be about 10 of these mods that are truly essential for me. You might already know some of these or have a different opinion on that and use different mods, so feel free to share some of your choice in the comment section below. The first mod is a very useful one that helps with your game's overall stability and performance, especially in highly packed areas like Boston downtown. In my previous performance and stability video guide, I highly recommend you to watch here. I was talking about the famous but outdated Boston FPS fix. Meanwhile, there's an improved variant of this mod that not only improves performance in those areas of Boston, but the complete rest of the map also, and adds a few other fixes as well. I'm speaking of the previous Ambiance repair pack, shortly PRP. I'm not going too much into detail, but this mod rebuilds pre-combined meshes and occlusion of the game, which lead to more frames depending on the location. So there's not much to think about that. Just get it if you haven't already and make sure it is at the end of your load order. Next up is not a typical mod, but a tool that will help you to configure your game, called Fallout 4 Configuration Tool by Belago. This external tool allows you to change and apply settings of bunch of different in-game parameters, ranging from tweaks, performance, visual settings, audio and gameplay settings and many more. You also have quick access to all of your .ini files and are able to save and start the game from this tool. A very useful instrument that makes tweaking your settings a lot less complicated. If you watched my visual overhaul guide, you will know this mod already. When it comes to weather and ambience, there are a few mods out there. I tried some of them, but when I discovered Natural and Atmospheric Commonwealth 10, shortly NACX, I fell in love. This mod adds the most beautiful and largest variety of weather and weather-related effects you can find on the Nexus. This mod comes with a bunch of different customization settings, so you can tweak the weather how you like it. There also is an override for night and interior darkness, as well as an integrated compatibility patch for your ENB. If you want a full review of this awesome mod, I recommend you to watch my visual overhaul guide here. Speaking of ENB, when it comes to vastly improving the game's visuals, you won't find a way around the ENB. Adding many different graphics enhancing effects, this mod does as well as no other. Obviously, ENB alone won't do as much as adding a nice ENB preset. So there are many ones out there and I already tried a bunch of these, but I'm stuck with this one for a long time. The preset I'm talking about is called Descent Plus. I like this preset so much because it, unlike others, keeps a natural tone and makes the game look much more photorealistic by lifting the colors and sharpness. All that while not impacting the game's performance too much. This, by the way, is the preset I'm using in all of my videos. Whilst we're already at improving visuals, the next mod also was included into my visual overhaul guide and adds the best texture overhaul you can get. I'm speaking of the Fallout 4 HD Texture Overhaul 2K by Luxor8071. This is a better alternative to the HD texture pack from Bethesda that not only looks better, but also is smaller in size, so it will improve performance by a bit. I strongly recommend this mod. If you want to improve the immersion of your game, not only the visuals are important, but the sound as well. For that, I got this simple mod that has a big impact. Reverb and Ambient Overhaul adds, as its name already says, an immersive soundscape that implements reverb and ambient sounds. So this overhauls the soundscape by a lot, especially in interiors. The reverb and ambient sounds will differ on room size and structure like in real life. The strength of these audio effects can be tweaked by the newly added in-game volume sliders. Because the original mod comes with some minor but annoying audio bugs and glitches, I recommend you to go for the tweaked version of this mod by Heiko4K. When we're already at audio, the next mod was one of my first mods I ever installed for my game in 2015. I'm speaking of more where that came from, Diamond City Radio Edition. If you're a fan of Travis Miles' Diamond City Radio and its music, this mod adds 111 more lore-friendly songs to it. I really don't want to play without this great mod anymore. Another mod, which you'll get to see quite often, is called Satellite World Map. This one will replace the boring, confusing vanilla map on your Pip-Boy with a high-resolution satellite map that comes with great detail and is available in a colored version and a monochrome green version. This will make the map a lot more structured and locations easier to find. Speaking of visibility, the next mod also improves an important visual element of the game by a lot. I'm speaking of the dialogue interface that, to be strictly honest, is quite ugly. Besides that, it is not showing the complete sentence the character is going to say in the conversation. Full dialogue interface will change that by giving you the option to display the full sentence in a list which style you can choose in the installer. Not much to say other than this is a simple must-have that comes for many languages. The last mod of today's listing will add a better immersive alternative to the strange Pip-Boy light that surrounds the player. Pip-Boy Flashlight replaces this with a beam of light that suggests the character is using a flashlight. There are a lot of different kinds of lights you can choose from, as well as the distance the light can travel and if it's casting a shadow. There's also an option for the power armor light. Like this, it is much more immersive walking around in dark areas, especially when you're using mods that change lighting and shadows like NACX does, for example. Those were a few of my must-have mods that I strongly recommend to use. Because there are many more, I will do another part in the future, so if you're interested and don't want to miss that, consider subscribing to my channel. I have seen that the biggest part of my viewers aren't actually subscribers, so I'd welcome you being part of my community. If you watched to this point, thank you very much for watching and don't forget to like this video. Until next time.